Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the Chancellor's procession.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Please be seated. Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal, Professor Rosemary Bell Antoine, Honorary Graduate, Mr. Nigel Louis Romano, other distinguished members of the Platform Party, Valedictorian Miss Aruna Mahalio, faculty and staff of the UWI's Augustine campus, specially invited guests, graduating class of 2025, friends, family, and well-wishers, members of the media, good afternoon. Good afternoon, graduates, and good afternoon to your families, your friends, your lecturers, your mentors, and all who have walked this journey with you. Today we gather not merely to mark the end of an academic chapter, but to celebrate the beginning of a new Caribbean story, one that you, the graduates of 2025, are uniquely positioned to assist in crafting. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived through sacrifice, through resilience, through nights of study and days of doubt, through balancing, in some cases, work and school, family and ambitions, hardship and hope. You arrived through hurricanes, both literal and metaphorical. You arrived through the pandemic's lingering shadows, through economic uncertainty, through the quiet battles that no one saw, but you endured nonetheless. Class of 2025, you have not only completed your course of study, you've also grown intellectually, emotionally, socially. You represent the best of our region. And your growth does not stop here. Your journey continues not just academically, but as leaders in your communities and as guardians of our shared future. You are graduating into a global environment increasingly shaped by national self-interest, where the idea of a shared responsibility for the prosperity of mankind is fading, where the preservation of our way of life for all is no longer guaranteed, where climate change, inequality, and conflict threaten the very fabric of our collective future. And yet here you are, standing tall, ready. As graduates of the University of the West Indies, you stand on a solid foundation. You have been equipped with knowledge, perspective, and the ability to think critically. In addition, you have inherited the legacy of decades of Caribbean leadership in many important global areas. In climate justice, where small island states have led the global call for action and accountability, where from Barbados to Bahamas, our leaders are demanding climate justice, not just for ourselves, but for vulnerable nations everywhere. In social equity, where Caribbean thinkers, artists, and activists continue to challenge inequality, colonial legacies, and systemic bias, where our voices shape the conversations on reparation, demanding equity and human dignity. In sports, where our athletes have shown the world that excellence knows no boundaries on what heart and discipline can achieve, where for decades our cricketers dominated world pitches with their skills and professionalism. And yet, this level of leadership and more are required now. In this still evolving new environment, you're not just graduates, you're builders, you're architects, you're the designers of a Caribbean that refuses to be defined by size, by limitations, or by the outdated assumptions of others. You're part of the generation that must reset the agenda. You must chart a path to a more enlightened future, one that values cooperation over competition, one that sees diversity not as a challenge, but as a strength, one that understands that the Caribbean voice is not a whisper, it is a force. In this emerging environment, you're not just graduates, you're the architect of Caribbean possibility. Class of 2025, you're the generation that understands that knowledge is borderless, that technology is a great equalizer, that size is no longer an insurmountable limiting factor, that a small island can produce world-class innovation, that a village in Antigua, a district in Jamaica, a parish in Barbados, a town in Trinidad can be the birthplace of global solutions. You are the generation that knows that excellence is not imported. It is cultivated, it is homegrown, it is Caribbean. And so today, I invite you to see yourself not just as graduates of a university, but as stewards of our region, as custodians of a rich legacy, as the ones who will shape the economies, the institutions, and the values of a Caribbean that is ready to rise. Let us be clear. The Caribbean has long been underestimated. We have been told that we're too small to matter, too fragmented to lead, too dependent to thrive. But you know better. You know that our size is not our weakness, it is our strength. It allows us to be agile, to be bold, to be united in purpose. You know that our diversity is not a barrier, it is a treasure. It gives us perspective, creativity, and resilience. You know that our history is not a weight, it is a foundation. It reminds us of what we have overcome and what we are capable of. So let us respond by being an example that others can scarce ignore. Let us build systems that work. Let us foster cultures of integrity, innovation, and inclusion. Let us show the world what Caribbean excellence truly looks like. And even then, the future will not be given to us. It has to be claimed. So class of 2025, go claim it. Claim it with your ideas, with your startups, with your research, with your art, with your activism, with your leadership in boardrooms, in classrooms, in parliaments, in communities. Claim it by refusing to accept mediocrity, by demanding transparency, by building institutions that serve the people, not just the powerful. Claim it by embracing technology, not as a tool of consumption, but as a platform for creation. Use it to solve problems, to connect markets, to educate minds, to amplify Caribbean voices across the globe. Claim it by investing in knowledge, not just degrees, but wisdom, not just credentials, but character. Claim it by remembering that the Caribbean is not only a place, it is a promise of warmth, of brilliance, of possibility. Class of 2025, you are the guardians of that promise. You are the ones with the knowledge, creativity, and understanding to make a difference. The ones who can take our economies from extraction to innovation, from vulnerability to resilience, from imitation to leadership. You are the ones who can show that our region is not peripheral, but pivotal. You are the ones that can remind the world that when the Caribbean dreams in color, in rhythm, in brilliance, in color. And so as you step forward today, I ask you to carry three things with you. First, carry your story. Never forget where you came from, whether you grew up in a fishing village or a bustling city, whether you were raised by one parent or many, whether you face hardship or privilege, your story matters. It is your compass, it is your power. Second, carry your responsibility. You're not just individuals, you're part of a collective, a Caribbean collective that needs your voice, your vision, your integrity. So lead with humility, serve with purpose, build with others. And third, carry your hope. The world will test you. It will challenge your ideals. It will tempt you to settle. But do not lose your hope. It is your fuel. It is your fire. It is the light that will guide you when the path is unclear. Graduates of 2025, you are ready. You are ready to build economies that are inclusive, sustainable, and bold. You are ready to challenge the status quo. You're ready to lead not just with intellect, but with heart. You're ready to show the world what the Caribbean can do. So I urge you, go forward, go proudly, go purposefully, and above all, never forget you are UWI, you're Caribbean, you're unstoppable. Congratulations to the class of 2025. The future is yours to shape. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain of our members into the company of graduates and the academic achievements of others. As a university, we are an academic society of undergraduates, bachelors, masters, and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement of learning, purposes which are laid down in the preamble to the Royal Charter, by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, our members advance from time to time to a higher standing in the academic community, and it is proper that as a body we should celebrate their achievement. It is marked by the granting of a degree or diploma or license or certificate, and we rejoice with our graduates on their achievement. Thank you very much. Congratulations to the class of 2025.
Chancellor, I now ask the public orator, Dr. Susan Burke, to present Mr. Nigel Romano, whom the Senate and the Council of the University have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Chancellor, quintessential mass man and scholar, Peter Minshall, describes his body of work as a love letter to Trinidad and Tobago, based on his belief that, open quotes, we do not have a choice in a place like this but to love one another, close quotes. Minshall's philosophy is echoed in the life and work of another son of the soil, one who has made his name and a name for himself as a true love master, who dared to transform businesses all over the world, not only through his mastery of numbers and profit margins, but more so through his penchant for leading from the heart. Chancellor, today I have the distinct pleasure of introducing the indomitable Nigel Romano, whose leadership style fiercely embodies a love ethic. Throughout his illustrious career, he's inspired those around him to get on board the love train, a train that empowers and transforms people and businesses. No fare, no ticket is needed to ride, only the willingness to journey for change. That Romano adopted this ethos of love is no small coincidence. His journey began at home in South Trinidad and continued throughout his early schooling, firstly at San Fernando Boys RC School, and later on at Presentation College, where he developed a love for learning. This curiosity carried on during his undergraduate and postgraduate life at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, where he was surrounded by exemplary scholars who mentored and cared for his personal and professional development. Within the storied halls of the UWI, he honed his lifelong dedication to continuous learning, maintained a spirit of curiosity, and learned the merits of staying humble and giving back, values that would later coalesce to form the pillars of his love ethos. Mentors like Ainsley Mark, Suraj Rambachan, and Gordon Draper left an indelible mark on him by instilling the belief that business is about creating value, and that by extension, leadership is about inspiring others to nurture and appreciate that value. Their examples showed him that love in the professional realm, while difficult, was utterly necessary because it involves bringing discipline, service, and accountability on board to drive the journey for change. A change that envisioned an economically vibrant Caribbean business sector with self-determined and financially independent citizens. Romano began his profession with a proficiency for articulating the language of business through accounting, After 9 years as senior manager at KPMG, he moved on to Citibank Trinidad and Tobago as the chief financial officer, and next continued his journey to Ernst & Young as a tax and corporate finance partner. Romano's discipline, hard work, and love ethic inevitably drew the attention of international partners, and soon his train made its way back to Citibank as the CFO for their Indonesia operations. In less than 3 years, he was promoted to serve as the Regional Quality Director for the Asia-Pacific region to implement the bank's Total Quality Management Initiative. He would spend 15 years with Citi, a period that marked his full transition from accounting to change management and corporate governance. During this leg of his journey, Romano inspired a cadre of finance professionals to board the love train as they led their divisions with compassion, confidence, and care. Chancellor, in 2015, his ethos found a home at JMMB Group Limited, where he was hired as Managing Director and CEO. Here, he was able to fully operationalize his love ethic because it aligned with the company's founder, Joan Duncan's vision of love. During this time, he helped to redefine the role of Caribbean financial institutions as more than engines of economic growth, but more as platforms for empowerment, inclusion, and diversity. Under his leadership, JMMB became a beacon of values-based banking, where compassion and accountability coexisted. Indeed, during his sojourn at JMMB, every client and team member was seen as a whole person with dreams worth nurturing. He boasts that one of his fondest memories during his time at the company was his signature, love in abundance, with centered love as the secret strategic business ingredient that propelled a culture of creativity, resilience, and agility. Chancellor, Romano's reach extended beyond the boardroom, as evidenced by his many contributions to regional development. He has served in various capacities in regional public sector organizations, such as the Caribbean Development Bank and the Caribbean Corporate Governance Institute. Through his policy and planning acumen, he has helped to make the Caribbean financial landscape a more accessible and equitable place for its citizens. Romano's unwavering commitment to the upliftment of ordinary people, his leadership style that is rooted in love, and his transformative impact on public banking, corporate governance, and strategic finance are truly exceptional. Chancellor, for his magnanimous spirit that keeps this love train riding towards financial freedom and empowerment for us all, I present Mr. Nigel Romano and ask that by the authority vested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies, you confer on him the degree of Doctor of Law, honoris causa.
Mr. Nigel Romano, by the authority vested in me by the Senate and the Council of the University, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. I now invite Dr. Romano to address the company.
Chancellor Dr. the Most Honorable Doddridge Miller, Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal Professor Rosemary Bell Antoine, other distinguished members of the Platform Party, graduating class of 2005, family and friends, ladies and gentlemen. With deep gratitude and humility, I accept this honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies, my beloved alma mater. I would like to thank the Faculty of Law, UWI St. Augustine, and Terence Braffett, the first distinguished honorary fellow of UWI's Faculty of Law, who pioneered the Lord Larry Constantine Educational Series in Global Justice, Law and Diplomacy, for his support. The significance of this honor is deeply personal, but it reflects not just individual achievement, but the collective journey of so many who have sacrificed, guided, influenced, and inspired me along the way. I owe much to Trinidad and Tobago's remarkable education system, which benefits enormously from the collaboration between the government and denominational boards, Catholic, Presbyterian, Hindu, Muslim, and others. They have quietly delivered stability and academic excellence while instilling a foundation of timeless values essential for success to generations of Trinbagonians. The commitment of these administrators and teachers to nurturing students and building leaders is a legacy we must cherish, preserve, and build upon. Their quiet devotion has shaped generations. As my friend Howard Dottin observed recently, the finest education does not simply prepare children to pass exams, but to live meaningfully, joyfully, and rooted in who they are. Many of my earliest lessons, both academic and moral, were learned in the classrooms of San Fernando Boys RC and Presentation College, and served me well throughout my career. The University of the West Indies also occupies a singular place in the story of the Caribbean. UWI has been more than a university. It has been the heartbeat of regional identity, pulsing through every island where its graduates lead and serve. An engine of intellectual and leadership development, social change, and regional unity for nearly 8 decades. Alumni walk every corridor of leadership and service across these islands and beyond. The transformative power of a UWI education is seen most in the friendships, perspectives, and values it instills, a gift that never fades. I was inspired by the lecturers in the Department of Management Studies and encouraged by alumni of the MSc in Accounting program. Now to you, the graduates. Today is your moment, a celebration of possibility and promise. As digital natives in a world of work that is very different from when I graduated, I would like to leave you with one piece of advice that I have learned through decades in business, service, and life, and to caution you about what I see as the biggest threat to humanity and to our humanity. Commit to lifelong learning and growth. Stay humble, curious, and teachable. Listen, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, your heart, and your soul. In a world that celebrates loudness, your quiet capacity to listen will become your greatest strength. Listen with an open mind. Listen to understand, not respond. Listen with empathy. Be learn-it-alls, not know-it-alls. Note, however, that to listen, you must be present. And to be present, you must control and curate who and what you allow into your world. You must begin by controlling what some observers have described as the weapon of mass distraction in your hand or pocket. Today, I believe the greatest threat to humanity and to our humanity lies in the devices we carry, the smartphones, the tablets, and the social media, the convergence of which now shape how we think, behave, and even believe. Their convergence into a self-reinforcing system collectively threatens the foundations of human society, democratic governance, and individual well-being. They turn attention into currency and distraction into profit. They amplify the loudest voices, not the wisest. And they are reshaping the very fabric of democracy and human connection. The more society depends on these platforms, the more catastrophic their failure or weaponization could become. This isn't about rejecting technology. It's about reclaiming our humanity. Social media and smartphones also impact workplace productivity. One of the most significant hidden costs facing organizations and businesses today. According to Gallup's State of the Global Workforce 2023 report, employees who are not engaged or who are actively disengaged cost the world $8.8 trillion in lost productivity, 9% of global GDP. However, the deeper loss is focus, the quiet engine of creativity and excellence. The systematic erosion of workplace efficiency threatens creativity, productivity, and competitiveness. But we have the power to choose. We can be proactive because between any stimulus and our response, we have the power to choose. Smartphones and social media are inherently neither productive nor destructive. Their impact depends entirely on how organizations and we as individuals manage their integration into our lives and work processes. The challenge for modern organizations is developing digital governance frameworks that harness the connectivity and efficiency benefits of mobile technology while protecting the deep focus and sustained attention necessary for high-value knowledge work. Success requires moving beyond blanket restrictions or unlimited access towards policies that optimize both individual performance and organizational outcomes. I believe that UE has a role to play in helping organizations and their teams to understand, mitigate, and manage these risks while reaping the rewards. Let us choose presence over distraction, purpose over noise, and connection over division. Let us prove once again that minds mighty enough to light the world can rise from this small archipelago. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Romano. We will now have a performance. Luke Corby is a current degree student in the musical arts program at the Department of Creative and Festival Arts. This afternoon, he will perform Go the Distance from the musical Hercules. Giselle Murray accompanies.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong.
Sir, the persons whose names will be called studied in the University of the West Indies, and having fulfilled the requirements of the University of the West Indies, beg leave to be presented to you and to the Senate of the University by the representative of the Faculty of Social Sciences as Bachelor of Science or Associate of Science, or as holders of diplomas or certificates of the University of the West Indies. Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Akola Lewis Cameron.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive as graduate members of our society these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science or Associate of Science, or have been awarded diplomas or certificates of this university.
And for first degrees, associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates of this university.
Sir, with first class honors, Aruna Mahadev. With first class honors, Isha Mahadev. Sir, with first class honors, Emily Maharaj. Jaya Maharaj. Priya Maharaj. Vinu Manikram. Matthew Mani. Sir, with first class honors, Rihanna Mansingh. Arifa Mantab. Natalia Maraj. Amanda Martin. Jordan S. Martin. Sir, with first class honors, Mikhail Mason. Brian Mathura. Brittany Matadine George. Kayleen Matthew. Sir, with first class honors, Aaliyah McDavid. Caleb McIntosh. Amaya McLean. Skylar McKenzie. Michael Macmillan. Caitlin Merrick. Randy Michael. Beyonce Mills. Sir, with first class honors, Hannah Mitchell. Ricardo Mitchell. With first class honors, Adara Mohammed. With first class honors, Alyssa Mohammed. Deja Mohammed. With first class honors, Emmanuel Mohammed. Hannah Mohammed. Jabril Mohammed. Ryan Mohammed. Sir, with first class honors, Samir Mohammed. Avita Mohan. Sabrina Mohan. Sir, With first class honors, Tyreek Montesu. With first class honors, Rian Moore. Nicholas Mutu. Alexia Naipaul. Brianna Nanan. Janika Nansis. Anne-Marie Nanlal. Sir, with first class honors, Shrishti Niranjan. Acacia Nelson. Shauna Neptune. Kadisa Noel. Amara Ojuru. Sir, with first class honors, Josanne Oliver. Maria Jose Oseguera Contreras. Vanessa Osari. Ambika Pabaru. Aliyah Padmo. Sir, with first class honors, Sabrina Palu. Sachin Pandohi. Nisha Parasan. Naomi Patterson. Aidan Paul. Sir, with first class honors, Jade Paul. With first class honors, Emily Pegas. Aliyah Pereira. Syria Pereira. Amelia Passad. Justin Passad. Makia Passad. Amisha Passad Singh. Sir, with first class honors, Hema Passad. Romario Peters. Kajul Pagu. Abby Phillip. Moya Pear. Amanda Premchan. Sir, with first class honors, Sadna Premchan. Kenia Kwashi. Isaiah Ragbir. Jade Rahim. Sir, with first class honors, Pooja Rajcharan. Ethan Rajkumar. Sir, with first class honors, Ashley Ann Raj. With first class honors, Karisha Rajkumar. Sir, with first class honors, Anastasia Rajpaul Budram. Che Rambachan. Riaz Rambaran. Aliyah Rambarat. Justin Ramcharita. Sachin Ramcharita. Rivaldo Ramdeen. Sir, with first class honors, Shaila Ramdan. With first class honors, Zandria Ramdan. Harishma Ramkisun. Ayesha Ramkelawan. Sir, with first class honors, Alisa Ramkisun. Celine Ramkisun. With first class honors, Diane Ramkisun. Sir, with first class honors, Scott Ramlal. Akash Ramlochan. Katya Yoni Ramnath. Amanda Rampasad. Sir, with first class honors, Justin Rampasad. Navish Ramruk. Ronaldo Ramsamuj. Aaron Ramsey. Adrian Ramsing. Videsh Ramsundar. Sir, with first class honors, Amaya Raphael. Shamel Rollins. Sir, with first class honors, Trent Rollins. With first class honors, Megan Rivanalis. Tiffany Richards. Honora Roberts. Danelle Roberts. Jody Roberts. Leanne Roberts. Rachel Roberts. Benjamin Rockford. Jaheem Romain. Alejandro Rosan. Mikael Ruben. Jasmine Sahada. Rebecca Sahibram. Destiny Salandi. Analaya Salikram. Avisha Sam. Gloria Samaru. Chelsea Samsing. Sir, with first class honors, Natalia Saunders. Tysa Saunders. Sir, with first class honors, Soraya Sayers. Naomi Scanterbury. Zion Scope. Imani Seeley. Ananta Sijatan. Sanjeev Sejol. Sir, with first class honors, Amara Simangal. Celine Sipasad. Kashiva Sipasad. Jarissa Senon. Carissa Sudial. Giovanni Simbu. Latifa Simeon Jonas. Jadisa Simmons. Carissa Simon. Sir, with first class honors, Chloe Sinanan. Phoebe Sinanan. Joshua Singh. Sir, with first class honors, Marsha Singh. Nirvana Singh. Sandia Singh. Chanel Smart. Rudolph Smith. Amaris Snell. Sir, with first class honors, Arnelia Sugrim. Shania Sugrim. Navita Sugrim Ram. Sir, with first class honors, Selena Sukdeo. Kaylee Sukram. Navid Sukram. Alexia Sumai. Sir, with first class honors, Jasmine Steele. Sir, with first class honors, Isaiah Stokes. Antonila Stout. Sir, with first class honors, Amaya Stewart. Vanita Sundar Singh. Celise Sydney. Danielle Tavares. Videsh Tilak Singh. Christian Theodore. Ariana Thomas. Sir, with first class honors, Chelsea Thomas. Hosea Thomas. Nikhail Thomas. Sir, with first class honors, Rochelle Thomas. Tishana Thomas. Sian Thomas. Sir, with first class honors, Angeline Torres. Tijuana Trancoso. Sophia Trim. Shawnell Terrell. Natalia Valentine. Sir, with first class honors, Michaela Vanderpool. Terrell Wade. Zion Wade. Sir, with first class honors, Michaela Waldrop. Keisha Walker. Sharice Ward. Maya Warner. Chantal Weeks. Brianna Whittier. Abigail Williams. Nikki Williams. Sir, with first class honors, Lisa Wong. Sir, with first class honors, Yifai Wong. Alyssa Worrell. Shauna Yearwood. Maria Morris. Amanda Matthews. Sir, with first class honors, Sydney Mohammed. With first class honors, Carissa Mohammed. Sir, with first class honors, Jasmine Mohammed. Sarah Mano. With first class honors, Celine Salikram. With first class honors, Asia Thomas. Nandani Maharaj. Sharice Mitchell. Jaden McDonald. Tariq Ogbon. Crystal Sinanan. Veyron Watson. Avery Thomas. Karishma Mohammed. Sir, with first class honors, Shelly-Ann Saret Moreno. Sir, with first class honors, Shana Rampasad Dean. Tyra Robinson. Safin Moo. Tiana Mohan. Sir, with first class honors, Joel Salmons. Terry-Ann Kwashi. Tennille Permol. Alicia McGregor. Sir, with first class honors, Tiffany Tracy. Anthony Maloney. Sir, with first class honors, Nandani Parsotan. Ravin Ramsingh. With first class honors, Serena Polion. Sherilyn Pear. Isaac Uta. Sir, with first class honors, Adrian Ramlogan. Johanna Matiste. Anya Rampasad. Sasha Sahadev. Joseph Williams. Kelisha Riley. Angelique Raghubar. Michael Regis. Unique Noel. Sir, with first class honors, Tahira Romilly. For the Associate of Science in Paralegal Studies, Tebalia Navarro. Rosella McNichol. Set Imhotep Ma'a Heru. Saria Thomas. Sir, with distinction, Sophia Sudan. For the certificate in criminology, Amaral Nurse. For the certificate in public administration, Elizabeth Russell. Ola Sanderson. And Jenna Patterson.
I now call on the class valedictorian, Ms. Aruna Mahadio, Bachelor of Science, Economics Special, with first class honors, to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor, Dr. the Most Honorable Doddridge Miller, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal, Professor Rosemarie Bell Antoine, Honorary Graduate, Mr. Nigel Lewis Romano, other distinguished members of the Platform Party, faculty and staff of the UWI St. Augustine campus, specially invited guests, friends, family, and well-wishers, members of the media, graduating class of 2025, good afternoon. It was John C. Maxwell who once said, "The measure of a leader is not the number of people who serve him, but the number of people he serves." These words remind us that education is more than a personal achievement. It is actually a call to leadership. This moment represents more than the end of a journey. Each of us has been given not just a degree, but a responsibility to use our education to transform our communities, guide others, and build a better Caribbean. As we stand on the threshold of this new chapter, many of us may doubt ourselves and wonder, how can I lead in a world defined by uncertainty? The truth is, uncertainty is not the enemy of leadership. In fact, it is in the face of uncertainty and challenge that a leader is born. And undoubtedly, our academic experience here at the University of the West Indies has already molded us into leaders. According to Harvard Center for Public Leadership, leadership is not about having authority or certainty. It's about mobilizing others to thrive in uncertain conditions. It is the art of steadying the ship when the sea is rough and steering not by the stars that we can see, but by the values that we refuse to lose. So as we, the graduating class of 2025, take flight, much like the pelican that rises from still waters into turbulent skies, our task is not simply to soar for ourselves, but to chart pathways that others can follow. Though we may have pursued different disciplines, from economics to management or sociology to political science, we have all been exposed to leadership in its many forms during our time at UWI. Leadership can be described in simply 4 steps. A great leader must look inward, rise upward, step forward, and turn backward. I have found that leadership is very much like the pelican's flight. To look inward is where that flight begins. Before it takes off, the pelican pauses, still and calm, looking within to sense the wind and find its direction. In the same way, during those long nights and early mornings of study, those moments of doubt before an exam, and those times where we questioned if we would make it, we found our own direction, and we discovered not just knowledge, but ourselves. When the pelican stretches its wings to rise upward, it moves beyond the limitations of gravity and the resistance of the wind. Similarly, we have also learned to rise above our own limitations. We have embraced growth and knowledge. Our lecturers have challenged us to grow beyond what we thought possible, to embrace new ideas and believe in our own potential. Then comes the moment for the pelican to soar, to move courageously into new spaces, stepping forward into change, not with hesitation, but with confidence. And our experience at UE has surely taught us how to adapt to change. From rushing to class through those sudden bucket or drop showers, to somehow, just 10 seconds later, having to shelter from the blazing sun, we kept moving forward, no matter the conditions. And finally, the pelican turns backward to return home to its nest. Similarly, we must also remember to turn backward, not in regret, but in reflection. To turn backward is to remember where we came from, to learn from our mistakes, and to honor the shoulders that lifted us, remembering that we too must lend a shoulder to uplift others. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I extend a sincere thank you to all who gave us this opportunity. To the family members, friends, and well-wishers in the audience who made sacrifices for us and believed in us when we did not believe in ourselves, thank you. To the lecturers who challenged and inspired us, thank you. To the staff and anyone who has played a role, no matter how big or small, thank you. Fellow graduates, I ask you now to look around. Look carefully at the faces to the left and to the right of you, because these are not just your old classmates. These are the colleagues with whom you will enter your next chapter. Our journey together does not end here. This is not a farewell. This is the beginning of our journey as a Caribbean community of leaders and innovators. And just as the pelican is known for its nurturing spirit, it is now our responsibility to nurture, uplift, and build a stronger Caribbean region, and by extension, a better world. So, when the pomp and ceremony fades, the gowns are returned, pictures posted, and we return to a world that is defined by uncertainty, let us remember that we have learned to look inward, rise upward, step forward, and turn backward. As we close this chapter and prepare to write the next, I say to the Faculty of Social Sciences, graduating class of 2025, congratulations! Thank you.
Sir, I now call on Professor Durasamy Saravanakumar, Director, School for Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of high degrees and postgraduate diplomas.
So, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate diplomas or have been admitted to master's degrees, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees of this university and recognize their advancement in our society.
So, from the Faculty of Social Sciences, for postgraduate diploma in management studies with human resource management specialization, I present Shenande Patterson with merit. So, for postgraduate diploma in sports management, I present Daniel Mitchell. With merit, Stefan Theophilus. So, from the Institute of International Relations, for postgraduate diploma in international relations and global studies, I present Aisha Cunningham with merit. Arisa Morales. With merit, Jenny Sutherland. So, from Global Campus, for Master of Science in Instructional Design and Technology, I present Ria Niles. So, for Master of Science in Management Studies with Human Resource Management Specialization, I present Tisha Bissaso with merit. Kimberly Maxbean. So, for Master of Science in Management Studies with Project Management Specialization, I present Ria Jagan with distinction. Moisha Williams. So, from St. Augustine campus, for Master of Science in Applied Psychology, I present Nahila Celestine with merit. Rennie Corliss. So, for Master of Science in Aviation Management, I present Javon Bucket with merit. Chanel Dionarine. Steve Gunness. Asakal Sedeno. With merit, Christine Sipasad. So, for Master of Science in Child and Youth Studies, I present Listra Louise with merit. With merit, Shinal Rolf Romero. So, with distinction, Victoria Rampasad. So, for Master of Science in Criminology and Criminal Justice, I present Sable Bess with merit. So, with distinction, Karishma Devanish. With merit, Roshanda John. With merit, Suraya Khan. Stephen King. With merit, Jisan Ramkharap. Sir, with distinction, Marika Sharma. Sir, for Master of Science in Economics, I present Malini Bagadur Singh. Sir, with distinction, Kiyomi Joseph. Sir, with distinction, Stephen Louis. With merit, Emily Najir. Trishana Ramkisoon. Sir, for Master of Science in Financial Economics, I present Jabari Cummings. Sir, with distinction, Celine Wilson. Sir, for Master of Science in Management Studies with General Management Specialization, I present Talia Abdul. Sir, with distinction, Ansar Ali. Sir, with distinction, Justin Edwards. With merit, David Estelle. Leon Gibbs. Sivan Ramkisoon. With merit, Prudence Roberts. With merit, Shivana Siju Singh. So, for Master of Science in Management Studies with Human Resource Management Specialization, I present Michelle Alexander. Ariana Maharaj Mohammed. Kaleem Noor. With merit, Adita Ragbir. So, for Master of Science in Management Studies with Marketing Specialization, I present Akila Francis. Ariana Ramprasad. So, for Master of Science in Mediation Studies, I present Valete Chakumba with distinction. So, with distinction, Stacy Hariprasad. So, for Master of Science in Public Sector Management, I present Chanel Bob with merit. With merit, Donna Bermond. Sarah Dan. Tenal Dibik. Sunil Naubat. Tishana Rivers. Cindy Sankor. Leslie Taylor. Linal Taylor. Makisha Thomas. Nalicia Trim. Sir, for Master of Science in Sociology, I present Crystal Augustus. America Holder. With merit, Ivana Joseph. So, with distinction, Giselle Kent. Rihanna Madhu. So, for Master of Science in Sports Management, I present Devin Elcock. Sheldon Seacharan. Rhonda Timothy. Satyadev Tiwari. So, for Master of Science in Strategic Leadership and Innovation, I present Mishram Beni. With merit, Aja Simone Bar. Michelle Bedeau. Clive Cray. With merit, Jody Johnson. So, with distinction, Khadija Lewis. Median Mahan. Tivisha Phillips. Alicia Phillips Joseph. Anya Ramlakan Singh. With merit, Fitzroy Randall. With merit, Rhonda Race. Kiral Sagadio. With merit, Shonda Stout. So, for Master of Science in Strategic Leadership and Management, I present Kennedy Ekwe. Vinal Williams. So, for Master of Social Work, I present Makeshi Chase with distinction. So, with distinction, Cheryl Dawson Jones. With merit, Tia Brancher. With merit, Marlene Herrera. Lisa Lolchan Sinarain. With merit, Nadia Mitchell. Crystal Parks. Christabel Paul. Adana Trotman. Sir, from the Institute of International Relations for Master of Science in Climate Studies, I present Janair Watts with distinction. So, for Master of Science in Climate Studies with concentration in energy, I present Daniel Budo Singh with distinction. So, for Master of Science in Climate Studies with concentration in food security, I present Tenik Dimsoy with distinction. So, with distinction, Laila Khan. So, with distinction, Mark Peters. So, with distinction, Raihana Sidarni. So, for Master of Science in Global Studies, I present Daniela Clark with merit. Nalini Mahabir. Christine Ramkisoon. Afia Sharp. Melanie Tilak Singh. So, for Master of Science in International Relations, I present Kyle Bisnath with merit. So, with distinction, Moisha Bruce. With merit, Amaya Carrington. With merit, Khadija Lomi. So, with distinction, Melaki Vasquez. So, from Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies for Master of Science in Development Statistics, specializing in social and demographic statistics, I present Heidian Boxer with merit. Nicholas Ashby. Ashaki Alexis. Tanisha Antoine. With merit, Natalia Williams. Justin Spring. With merit, Frida Mohammed. Ariane McDonald. With merit, Dehila Maloney. Daniela Belfast. Chantal Waldrop. So, with distinction, Samantha Johnson. Krishal Simon. So, with distinction, Jasmine Lakraj. Samantha Snacks. So, with distinction, E.K. Ikele Bradshaw. With merit, Aaron Philip. Kobe Sandy. Shinal Thakari. So, with distinction, Anika Lewis. With merit, Sonal Renaud de Mills. With merit, Celine Pollard. Jewel Garrett. Stefan Seeley. With merit, Altia Waldron. Kimberly Joe.
Sir, the Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Dr. Akola Lewis Cameron.
For the Bachelor of Science in Management Studies, Denzel McCarthy.
Sir, I now call on Professor Audrey Henry Lee, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, and the Chair of the Board for Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of Doctor of Philosophy.
So, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and recognize their advancement in our society.
Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, Wilson Henderson, Jr. Title of thesis: An investigation into the impact of public service motivation, satisfaction of pay level, transformational leadership, and bureaucratic organizational culture on job performance within the public sector of Trinidad and Tobago, the mediating role of job satisfaction. The research produced insights for policymakers to strengthen leadership and public service in Trinidad and Tobago. The supervisor was Professor Rajendra Ramlogan. Kieran Lopez. Thesis title: An investigation into the patterns, perceptions, and experiences of registered nurses as to the role of work-family conflict and hospital organizational culture on work engagements at public hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago. The study offers key interventions and recommendations for health-related policies. Supervisor, Dr. Talia Esnard. Doctor of Philosophy in Criminology and Criminal Justice, Kiran Kanpat. Title of thesis: The Twin Islands in the Age of Terrorism, an exploratory analysis of radicalization pathways to the Islamic State. This research analyzed the elements that lead to a person to join a foreign terrorist movement. The supervisor, Dr. Randy Sipasad. Doctor of Philosophy in Economics, Lira Budram. Thesis title, Understanding the Behavior of Trade in a Small Energy Producing Economy, the Case of Trinidad and Tobago. This study identified multiple trade issues in the country and offered lessons for other energy exporting small island states in the region. The supervisor, Professor Roger Hossein. Doctor of Philosophy in Economic Development Policy, Justin Joseph. Title of thesis, Essays on the Labor Market in Trinidad and Tobago. The study recommended an inclusive migration policy to rebalance the economy, boost the non-energy sector, and spur sustainable growth. Supervisor, Professor Roger Hossein. Doctor of Philosophy in International Relations, Samantha Alahar. Title of thesis, The Grenada Revolution, Elevating the Sub-Saharan in the Decolonization Process. This research produced new insights into Caribbean political and social transformation through examination of the Grenada Revolution. Supervisors, Dr. Jacqueline LaGuardia Martinez and Dr. Tennyson Joseph. Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, Felicia Frederick Davis. Thesis title, Examining the Intentions and Willingness to Use Insulin Therapy Among Persons with Type 2 Diabetes in Trinidad. This study discovered psychological barriers to insulin therapy use among type 2 diabetics and proposed management interventions for the wider Caribbean. Supervisor, Dr. Christine Descartes. Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, Farina Aladdin. Thesis title, Food in the Time of COVID-19, a sociological investigation of healthy and unhealthy food consumption among adults during the COVID-19 pandemic in Trinidad and Tobago. Research findings recommended socioeconomic policies based on intervention in health, education, and promotion. The supervisor, Dr. Nasser Mustafa. Jane. Jana Swell, thesis titled The Effect of Maternal Employment on Juvenile Delinquency Behavior of Adolescents Attending Secondary Schools in the Victoria Education District, Southern Trinidad, a cross-sectional latent factor analysis. This research offers valuable insights for family and community-based youth programs. Supervisor, Dr. Nasser Mustafa. Onika Noriega. Thesis title, An Examination of High Academic Performance, an intersectional and multi-site case study into one education district in Trinidad and Tobago. Student identity, inclusive community, and responsive leadership were identified as key determinants of academic success in this study. The supervisor, Dr. Talia Esnard.
I now call on the Treasurer, the UWI Alumni Association, Trinidad and Tobago Chapter, Ms. Jacqueline Taylor Chase, to lead the graduates in reciting the Alumni Pledge.
Pleasant afternoon. Candid graduates, please stand. I will now lead you in reciting the Alumni Pledge, which can be found on page 92 of the booklet. Please repeat after me, and please repeat with passion. As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment to excellence of the light rising from the West. As I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region. I will strive to ensure the UWI's place as a Caribbean icon. The catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will proudly help build for future generations. The UWI, first in our hearts and first in our region. Congratulations and thank you.
I now invite everyone to stand as we join in singing the university song, which can be found on page 92 of the booklet.
From Caribbean islands, Guyana and Belize, was born our University of the West Indies, proud symbols of our oneness, our strength and unity. With visions clear, you came along to shape our destiny, to follow after knowledge, the truth to seek and find, to teach us love and justice, to liberate our mind. Today we see you rising, a lighthouse of the West, that guides the feet of all who seek the noblest and the best. There is a light that is rising from out of the West, and broad bearers of that light are we. So we follow those whose work has brought glory to your name, making a better world for you and for me. As from your noble portals, your sons and daughters go to face the world of challenges, to conquer every foe. We work and play together, and as time marches on, we'll never forget the lessons that no more we are one. UWI, we praise you, we lift our voice in song, we let our big judge go loud and skip and spin along. For you have shaped our lives so that we can truly sing. To you we owe our gratitude, and debts we can't repay. There is a light that is rising from out of the West, and broad bearers of that light are we. So we follow those whose work has brought glory to your name, making a better world for you and for me. This is our university of the West Indies.
For the class of 2025, please remain standing as we prepare to capture a class photograph. Everyone else, please be seated. You have officially entered your UWI graduate era, and to commemorate this milestone, we invite you to take up your canisters as we prepare for a unique and symbolic gesture. To our friends and families in the stands, we invite you to get your cameras ready, as this will be a moment to remember. As we count to 3, we ask you to raise your canisters, turn to your family in the stands, and wave to them with all the excitement and pride that you feel in this moment. 1, 2. Graduates who can't count. And with this, we conclude your graduation ceremony. Congratulations to the class of 2025 once again. This brings to a close the public ceremony by which the University of the West Indies has signalized the award of degrees, diplomas, and certificates to its graduates. The company will now disperse. May I ask everyone to please stand and permit me to escort the especially invited guests and allowing the procession to leave. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.